Welcome to Nicheliving and Jako's round 23 football tips and preview. Well, it all comes down to this final round of the AFL season for 2019 to decide the top 2, the top 4 and the top 8. Boy, haven't we got some games this weekend. And it starts on Friday night at the MCG in a massive blockbuster. Collingwood taking on Essendon. Whilst both are secured in the top 8, it's where they're going to finish and who's going to get the home finals. I'm going to stick with Collingwood whilst I was very impressed with Essendon last week, but the Pies win has shown that they're ready for September action. 5 games on Super Saturday and we go all the way up to the SCG. Whilst these two teams are not playing finals footy, they want to finish off the season really well and their form in recent week has been very, very good. It's the Sydney Swans taking on St Kilda. I'll stay with the Sydney Siders on their home ground. North Melbourne, with Big Ben Brown kicking 10 goals last week, take on the most disappointing team in 2018, Melbourne in Hobart. North to win and win well. Geelong, coming off a heartbreaking loss to the Brisbane Lions by 1 point last week, take on Carlton down at GMHBA Stadium. And the Blues, they've done nothing wrong since signing and appointing David Teague as their senior coach. But Geelong wanting to secure a top 2 position, can't see him getting beaten down at the category. Geelong to win by 15 points. The Gold Coast Suns take on the GWS Giants up at Metricon Stadium, and both these sides have been disappointing this year. And in particular, the GWS Giants had a chance to secure a top 4 position. Now are looking to secure a top 6 and hopefully a home final for them. I'm going to tip the Giants to win, but their form isn't great. Last game of the Saturday fixture, and it's West Coast taking on the Hawthorn Football Club at Optus Stadium, and both sides finishing off really well. Whilst the Eagles had a 6-point loss to the Tigers last week, expect them to finish off because they've still got a chance to secure a top 2, but more importantly, they need to secure a top 4 position. West Coast to win and win at home. 3 games on Sunday to finish off round 23, and it's the Western Bulldogs, the red hot, most dangerous team in the competition leading into September. They take on the disappointing Adelaide Crows. The Bulldogs to win and win comfortably. Well, what a blockbuster this one. 1 versus 4. It's Richmond taking on Brisbane at the MCG, and the Tigers, well, they don't lose too many in the MCG, but this young, enthusiastic and spirited Brisbane Lions side cannot be denied. I'm going to tip Richmond at home, but I won't be surprised if these young Cubs get up and win in a boil-over. But Richmond to win that game. Last game of the round, it's Port Adelaide. Once again have surrendered a position in the top 8, have been disappointing in recent weeks. Take on Fremantle at the Adelaide Oval. And Fremantle, well, they've sacked their coach, and they usually say when a side sacks their coach, they win the following week, but I can't see this happening. Port Adelaide to win to finish off round 23. Now to the AFL ladder after 22 rounds, and it is certainly tight at the top. Brisbane all by themselves on top of the ladder on 64 points, then Geelong, then West Coast, then Richmond, all separated by a little bit of percentage, all on 60 points, and Collingwood making a surge for the top 4. They're at 56 points. That rounds off the top 5, and thanks to Nicheliving, we'll catch you next week with all the previews and tips for the new final series upon us.